Every few seconds, someone over the age of 60 loses enough vision that they no longer feel confident driving at night. And what's even more concerning is, most people believe this is just a normal part of aging. But what if I told you that in many cases, that decline isn't simply about getting older? It's because your body is gradually losing its ability to protect your eyes. Think about this for a moment. Every single day, your retina processes millions of light signals. But over time, the protective shield inside your eyes, those critical antioxidants, begins to decline. And when that happens, your eye cells become weaker, more vulnerable to damage. You start to notice it. Text on your phone looks less sharp, headlights at night feel harsher, and your eyes get tired much faster than they used to. But here's the part most people never hear. There are natural compounds found in common spices right in your kitchen that can help support, and in some cases, improve how your eyes function if used the right way. This isn't magic, it's biology. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 6 specific spices, starting with the least powerful and moving toward the ones that can make a much bigger impact, yet are often overlooked. And the number 1 on this list might surprise you, because there's a good chance you've used it before, just not in the right way. If you want to keep your vision sharp, stable, and reliable in the years ahead, stay with me until the end. What you're about to hear may completely change how you think about your eye health. So, what's really happening inside your eyes? After the age of 60, your body begins producing less of an important compound called glutathione. You can think of it as a powerful antioxidant shield that helps protect your eye cells from damage. When glutathione levels drop, the cells in your retina are no longer protected the way they used to be. They become more sensitive to bright light, more prone to inflammation, and gradually lose their ability to process images clearly. At the same time, blood flow to the eyes also tends to decline with age. This means oxygen and nutrients are no longer delivered as efficiently. And when that supply system weakens, your eye cells start to function less effectively. You may notice this more than you think. Difficulty seeing in low light, taking longer for your eyes to adjust, or even a subtle hazy layer over your vision. Here's what's important to understand. This isn't just about natural aging. In many cases, it's a sign that your body is lacking the key elements it needs to maintain its own protective system for your eyes. And this is where nutrition, especially the compounds found in certain spices, can make a real difference. When used correctly, they can help your body restore its antioxidant defenses, improve circulation, and support your eye cells so they function more efficiently. Now, let's start with the first options, the ones that are milder but still play an important foundational role. Number 6, ginger plus lemon zest. This is a fairly familiar option, and one you may have already used without realizing its impact on your eyes. Ginger contains natural anti-inflammatory compounds like gingerol. Meanwhile, lemon zest is rich in vitamin C and flavonoids, substances that help reduce oxidative stress in the body. When combined, this pair can help calm mild inflammation and support better blood circulation, including the tiny vessels behind the retina. So, what does that mean for your vision? When inflammation is better controlled, your eye cells are less likely to become overstimulated by light and environmental factors. You may notice your eyes feel less fatigued at the end of the day, or that dryness and irritation are slightly reduced. For some people, mild blurriness in the afternoon may also improve. However, it's important to understand this. This is not a fast-acting solution. Ginger and lemon zest work gradually, and the benefits typically become noticeable only after a few weeks of consistent use. So, if you're looking for something with a stronger impact on visual function, this is just the starting point. There's also a small but important note. Ginger can have a mild blood-thinning effect. If you're taking anticoagulant medication or have any bleeding-related conditions, it's best to consult your doctor before using it regularly in larger amounts. The simplest way to use it: take a slice of fresh ginger, add a small amount of thinly grated lemon zest, and steep it in warm water for about 5 to 7 minutes. Drink it after a meal to support absorption and avoid stomach irritation. This is a gentle and generally safe option for most people. But as I mentioned, we're just getting started, and there are more powerful solutions ahead. Number 5. Fennel seeds. If you've ever felt a mild pressure or heaviness in your eyes, especially in the afternoon or after long periods of reading, this next spice may offer meaningful support: fennel seeds. Fennel seeds contain a natural compound called anethole, along with vitamin C and several antioxidants. These components may help reduce pressure inside the eye, a factor associated with increased glaucoma risk as we age. At the same time, they help lower oxidative stress in retinal tissue, allowing your eye cells to function more comfortably. You may not notice immediate effects, but with consistent use, many people report that their eyes feel less heavy and less strained, especially after prolonged close-up work. In some cases, focus while reading or looking at a screen also becomes more stable. However, there's one important detail that many people overlook: how you use them. If you simply chew them lightly or swallow them whole, most of the active compounds won't be fully released. The outer shell of fennel seeds is quite tough, and without crushing or breaking them, your body absorbs very little of what's inside. The simplest method is to lightly crush about 1 teaspoon of fennel seeds, then steep them in warm water for 7 to 10 minutes. Drink this about 20 to 30 minutes before a meal to support better absorption. One more thing to keep in mind: fennel has mild estrogen-like properties. So, if you have hormone-related conditions or are monitoring prostate health, it's best to use it in moderation and consult a healthcare professional if needed. Number 4. Paprika with black pepper and healthy fats. This is one of the options I rate more highly, not just because of its effectiveness, but because many people are already using it, just in a way that makes it almost useless. Paprika, especially high-quality sweet paprika, contains a key compound for eye health called zeaxanthin. This is one of the very few carotenoids that can actually accumulate in the macula, the central part of the retina responsible for sharp detail, reading small text, and recognizing faces. As zeaxanthin levels decline with age, you may begin to notice familiar changes. Images look less sharp, it becomes harder to see in low light, and everything seems to lack contrast. Using paprika the right way can help improve this over time. But here's the problem: zeaxanthin is fat-soluble. If you simply sprinkle paprika onto dry foods or cook it at high heat, most of its active compounds won't be absorbed or may even be destroyed. This is why I always emphasize how you use it matters just as much as what you use. When you combine paprika with a source of healthy fat like olive oil or avocado, your body can properly absorb zeaxanthin. And when you add a pinch of black pepper, the compound piperine helps significantly boost absorption by supporting metabolic processes in the gut. When used correctly, many people notice that their eyes adapt to light more quickly, experience less glare outdoors, and see more clearly in low light conditions, especially in the evening. The simplest way to use it: sprinkle about 1/2 teaspoon of paprika over a meal that contains healthy fats, such as eggs, fish, or an olive oil-based salad. Add a pinch of black pepper and avoid cooking it at high temperatures to preserve its active compounds. This is where things start to noticeably shift, because you're not just adding something in, you're actually giving your eyes what they need to function better. And what comes next goes even further. Number 3. Cinnamon and raw honey. This is one of the most underestimated options, but in reality, it targets a very core factor in eye health: blood sugar. You may not immediately think of blood sugar as something related to your eyes. But here's something important to remember. The retina is one of the most energy-demanding tissues in your body. It relies heavily on a steady supply of glucose to function properly. When blood sugar spikes and then drops quickly, which often happens after meals high in refined carbs or sugar, the tiny blood vessels in your eyes are repeatedly stressed. Over time, this can weaken those vessels, affecting circulation and the delivery of nutrients to your eye cells. That's why many people notice that after eating, especially sweets, their vision becomes slightly blurred, focus becomes harder, or small floaters seem more noticeable. Cinnamon, particularly Ceylon cinnamon, can help support more stable blood sugar levels in a natural way. It slows down the absorption of glucose, reducing those sharp spikes after meals. When blood sugar stays more stable, the delicate capillaries in your eyes are under less strain, and this can make a meaningful difference over time. At the same time, raw honey, when used in moderation, provides enzymes and mild antibacterial compounds that help reduce low-grade inflammation in the body. This is a subtle but ongoing factor that can impact retinal health. When combined, these two ingredients don't just support your eyes from the outside, they help create a more stable internal environment for your eyes to function efficiently. Many people begin to notice changes fairly early. Less post-meal blurriness, reduced eye fatigue in the afternoon, and improved focus when reading or using screens. The simplest way to use it: each morning, mix about 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon with 1 teaspoon of raw honey. You can take it directly or stir it into warm water. One important note: if you are taking medication for diabetes, monitor your blood sugar carefully when using cinnamon regularly, as it may enhance the effects of your medication. This is where we begin to address the root of the problem, not just protecting the eyes, but stabilizing the system that nourishes them. Number 2, turmeric with black pepper and healthy fat. This is one of the most powerful options you can use, but also one of the most commonly misused. Turmeric contains an active compound called curcumin, which has strong anti-inflammatory properties. But what makes curcumin truly unique isn't just its ability to reduce inflammation. It can also activate a mechanism in your body known as NRF2. You can think of this as a switch that helps your body produce its own antioxidants again, including glutathione. And as we discussed earlier, glutathione is a critical shield that protects the cells in your retina from damage. When this mechanism is activated, your body doesn't just receive protection from the outside. It begins to rebuild its own internal defense system. This is especially important for the eyes, where cells are highly sensitive to oxidative stress and light exposure. However, there's a major issue. Curcumin is very poorly absorbed on its own. If you simply drink turmeric water or add turmeric to your food without combining it properly, most of the active compound will be eliminated before it can deliver real benefits. That's why many people use turmeric for long periods without noticing much improvement. To truly absorb curcumin, your body needs 2 key elements. Black pepper contains piperine, which significantly increases curcumin absorption by slowing its breakdown in the liver healthy fats, such as coconut oil or olive oil, because curcumin is fat-soluble. When all 3 are combined, turmeric's effectiveness is fully activated. With consistent use, many people notice that their eyes become less sensitive to light. Eye fatigue decreases during long periods of focus, and that subtle, hazy feeling at the end of the day gradually fades. The simplest way to use it: mix about 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric with a pinch of black pepper and 1 teaspoon of coconut oil or olive oil. Take it with a meal to improve absorption. One small note: turmeric may cause your stool to appear slightly yellow. This is normal and not a cause for concern. This is where we begin to reach the core of protecting your eyes from within. But there's still one final option, more direct, more powerful, that very few people truly understand or use correctly. Number 1, saffron with bilberry. This is the one I want you to pay special attention to, not because it's the most popular, but because it works at the deepest level of your visual system. Saffron, also known as the stigma of the crocus flower, contains 2 powerful compounds, crocin and quercetin. What makes them unique is their ability to cross the blood-retina barrier, something very few antioxidants can do. Once they reach the retina, they help protect and support the recovery of weakened cells, especially in the macula. At the same time, bilberry stands out for its high levels of anthocyanins. These compounds help strengthen the tiny blood vessels in the eyes, improve circulation, and support vision in low-light conditions. When you combine these two, you're targeting two critical factors at once, protecting and nourishing retinal cells from within, improving the blood flow that delivers nutrients to your eyes. This isn't a combination that gets a lot of attention or marketing hype, and because of that, many people overlook it, while those who use it consistently often notice meaningful changes over time. The improvements can be subtle at first, but valuable. Colors appear more vivid, vision in low light becomes clearer, and that familiar hazy layer over your sight gradually fades. For some, reading small text or looking at screens also becomes more comfortable. The simplest way to use it: steep 2 to 3 strands of saffron in warm water for about 5 minutes, then drink it. Bilberry can be used in the form of dried berries, tea, or extract if available. You don't need high doses. Consistency is what matters most. One small note: choose pure saffron, free from added color or fillers. And if you are taking blood-thinning medication, consult a healthcare professional before using it regularly. This is where everything comes together, not only supporting your body's ability to rebuild its protective shield, but also directly delivering compounds that reach deep into the retina and support recovery from within. At this point, you might be wondering, do I need to use all of these every single day? The answer is not many, just the right ones, used consistently. A simple way to approach this is to build a small daily routine. Morning: start with saffron steeped in warm water. With meals, add paprika along with a healthy fat. Afternoon or evening, use turmeric combined with black pepper and oil. You don't need to take everything at once. Just choose 2 to 3 options that fit your routine and stay consistent each day. Over time, your body will have the raw materials it needs to help protect and support your vision. That said, there are a few common mistakes I want you to avoid. First, not using it long enough. Many people try something for a few days and give up because they don't see immediate results, but your eyes need time to respond and recover. Think in terms of weeks, not days. Second, ingredient quality. Low quality or heavily processed spices lose much of their active compounds. Whenever possible, choose pure, high-quality sources with clear origins. Third, expecting results too quickly. You may notice small improvements within 1 to 2 weeks, but for more noticeable and stable changes, it usually takes around 3 to 4 weeks of consistent use. Remember, this is not an instant fix. It's a way of helping your body gradually restore balance, and that's what leads to lasting results. If there's one thing I want you to remember after everything we've talked about, it's this: your vision doesn't decline just because of age. It declines because your body is gradually losing what it needs to protect itself. Your eyes don't weaken randomly. They reflect what's happening inside your body every single day, from what you eat, to how you care for yourself, to the small habits you repeat over time. The good news is you can still change that. You don't need complicated or expensive solutions. Sometimes it starts with very simple things, like the familiar spices already in your kitchen, used the right way, at the right time, with consistency. So here's something simple I'd like you to try. For the next 30 days, choose 2 to 3 options from today's list. Use them daily. Pay attention to the changes, not just in how clearly you see, but in how your eyes feel. Write down how your vision feels today. Then come back in a few weeks and see what's different. If you found this video helpful, leave a comment below. I read them all, and I truly care about your experience. And if you'd like more simple, practical ways to support your health after 60, consider subscribing to the channel. Because our goal isn't just to help you live longer, it's to help you see clearly, stay independent, and enjoy your life to the fullest every single day.